Okay, today we're looking at the Argos Fury Expert Advisor. Apparently this one uses DeepSeek, so I'm curious to dive in and see if it's a real bot or more than likely if it's another scam. So this video is sponsored by our free Golden Time Bomb Expert Advisor. Take your trading to the next level through automating the London breakout and the opening range breakout. Click the link in the description to download the EA completely for free. So here essentially he's saying this is a gold trading bot and it uses a dynamic reversal zoning strategy. Not only detects market movements but understands them. Interesting. So I don't necessarily see how a strategy would understand the market movement, but I imagine he's referring to the AI there and that the AI is somehow understanding it. And yeah, he's saying that combining DeepSeek and a reversal strategy is new, and that's what makes it so exciting. Well, that's blatantly false because a lot of people have used DeepSeek and mean reversion strategies before. I know, for instance, Brandon uses this in some of his bots because he uses Open Router and you can select from a variety of different models. So that's just not true. And here he's somehow comparing DeepSeek to various other models and saying that apparently the trading ability of DeepSeek is somehow superior, as is the risk management. And I'm not so sure how he's gotten these verified statistics for the evaluation of AI systems. Like, I'm not so sure there's too many people doing like verified tests on LLMs in terms of risk management. Like, yes, there are AI benchmarks, but they usually test stuff like computing power, coding abilities. They're not exactly testing like your trading risk management. So this seems rather fluffy, in my opinion, for now. However, the fact that it's looking for liquidity zones makes sense. The fact that it's looking for a reversal strategy makes sense. So it could perhaps be using a real strategy, but I think the DeepSeek stuff just seems like very fluffy in that it's all fake and meant to sell. So here, once again, we're seeing these obviously blatantly fake backtests, turning $1,000 into $33 million, likely not realistic. Very nice and nicely colored, which is usually a sign of more of a sketchier developer. I think this guy has put out bots in the past. I'm not so sure like what exactly he's meant to be doing here, but I digress. So this is actually a real trading strategy, believe it or not, or pardon me, a real broker, not a real trading strategy. And we're seeing that it's showing us some extremely impressive results, but frankly, because he's taking so few trades. So really, it's not that hard to put in a deposit, make a few trades, make something that looks impressive, but ultimately, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe he opened these. No, he just put in 1,000. Maybe I got it. Okay, so initial deposit 400. I wonder why he immediately withdrew. Maybe he was starting a bunch of signals simultaneously, but we can see that he clearly just got super high results by taking very few trades with very high leverage. So that's why, like, at first glance, you might see this and be like, wow, that's so many months and the returns are so good. But realistically, he's just manipulating the signal. So yeah, real broker is the only good thing here. Everything else is clearly heavily manipulated. I ran a backtest as well. We can once again see that it's this beautiful, beautiful equity curve turning. This was actually a bit more modest, 10,000 into 481,000. So not as crazy as his backtests with a 10% drawdown. But once again, it's obviously incredibly fake. There looks to be some element of like stacking trades here. Perhaps some grids. There are a few losers, but very, very far in between. It has a 97.18% win rate. So it actually does have an inverted risk reward of a roughly 2-to-1 or a bit over 2-to-1 inverted risk reward, but still definitely manipulated. Yeah, this thing looks pretty fake. It's doing double orders for some reason. Don't know why it's doing that. Sometimes developers will do this with a scalper in order to reduce slippage. Also, if you're trying to make more money on commissions, maybe you want to do that too because you're trying to, I don't know, add some additional lots to it. But really, there's no reason to do this for this style of bot. So yeah, like so far this is just so blatantly manipulated. It does appear to be doing a mean reversion strategy, so at least it's matching the reversal zone thing he's talking about. But it's either a history reader, or most likely a history reader, or just so blatantly over-optimized that it doesn't give us anything of value. But it could very well be based on zones, believe it or not. Here he's saying that there's no deep seek connection, which actually is a good sign, because perhaps he does. Because obviously when you backtest something, it's not going to allow you to use DeepSeek because you can't use web requests in the terminal. But in order to use DeepSeek, you would need to have some place to put an API key. The fact that he's not telling you that is also like really sketchy. Because in theory, if it was really using DeepSeek, you'd need to actually have a place to put in the key. This wouldn't show up necessarily when you're running a backtest, but if you were to run it live, that would be of critical importance. So yeah, this is very fishy. Like something is for sure off. Like it should absolutely be letting us display it. It should be letting us display a key, that is, or input a key. The strategy itself looks super fake. It's all heavily manipulated. The only thing which is kind of real is that it's doing a mean reversion strategy from what I can see here. But doing a mean reversion strategy on gold is also pretty illogical because gold is an incredibly strong trending asset. Like if you try and blindly short against a trend, against an uptrend, for instance, it's not going to work out too well. So if you can do a mean reversion strategy on gold, but you need to usually have either a night scalper or some sort of fundamental idea behind it. So yeah, guys, this is total crap. Don't buy it. This one's really bad. There's many bad ones in the MQL5 marketplace, but this one is particularly bad. It might work momentarily because he has some tricks in it, but long term, this is not going to be profitable. So guys, hope you enjoyed my video. I'll see you in the next video.